Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about Rise of Skywalker pre-sales record proves fan boycott was an empty threat. Here we go through another NPC article about how boycotting NPC movies is a bad thing, as they continue to ridicule us and call us misogynists and racists. Once again, let's get into this article. People online have been declaring Star Wars dead ever since The Last Jedi grossed over than $1.3 billion. Many people insisted that Disney had abandoned the true fans of the series, choosing instead to focus on the needs of those less interested in Star Wars as a brand, and more interested in Star Wars as a vehicle used to appeal to a different demographic, one they referred to as social justice warriors and fake fans. You're not going to throw in the fact of minorities and women as well? Well, that's actually, it's not very impressive. They're just going to throw out that we are racist and will go after women and minorities later on in the article. Many fans insisted that they would boycott all future Disney Star Wars productions. However, that boycott had little impact on Episode 9. As of now, Rise of Skywalker's tickets pre-sales have broken records previously broken by Avengers Endgame, the highest grossing film of all time. In this first day alone, it outsold Endgame's first day pre-sales by 45%. Why did people want to boycott Star Wars? Let's get this out of the way right now. If you don't like The Last Jedi, that doesn't mean you're one of the individuals we're about to discuss. There are plenty of legitimate reasons a fan might not enjoy The Last Jedi. No film is above criticism after all, and while many people loved the film, plenty found it to be a betrayal of the series they had grown up loving. What can I say? I agree with this part, but the fact is he's just setting us up for a fall. Anthony Gargamuglia, the writer of this article, thinks when he makes his point, it makes us all look like racists, while he comes off looking like a manipulative jerk because of the way he's portrayed us in this article. I mean, it really does. He's just portraying anyone who's against the Star Wars movies as being bigoted. But this comes off as being manipulative of him, and anyone can see it if they read his article. Many popular film critics, such as Jimmy Johns, have expressed disappointment in The Last Jedi and Star Wars under Disney in ways that are constructive and informative. Even if you don't agree, you can at least see the rationality behind what they're saying. Not all online critics, however, have been so articulate or fair. Many YouTubers with large followings, including Geeks and Gamers, Ethan Van Sciver, and Grace Rundolph, took issues with the film pandering to social justice warriors and leftist political agendas by putting women and racial minorities front and center. And here we are, folks. He's revealed us to be racists because we don't like the new Star Wars movies, even though minorities were prominent in the original trilogy, what with Lando Calrissian and Princess Leia, who's just a white woman. But because she's a white woman, apparently she doesn't count, and neither does Lando for some odd reason. Piggybacking off other people's talking points, those with intense political biases convinced themselves the majority of fans agreed with them. Ugh, this guy. You know what? Most people don't agree with you, the Anthony Karamaki, because we just don't like you. This led to the Fandom Menace, a group of particularly aggressive fans who trolled all Star Wars-related content. As a result, the online discourse surrounding both The Last Jedi and upcoming Star Wars projects became almost militant. Some YouTubers and online critics attacked everything Lucasfilm did, regardless of what it was. Meanwhile, a lot of misinformation was spread due to either lack of information or deliberate lying. And here we have a bunch of lists of channels who are critical of the Star Wars movies and anything of SJW. The group attacked everyone they blamed for what they saw as Star Wars failure, from Kelly Marie Tran, of course going back to Kelly Marie Tran and people who were critical of her, to Rian Johnson, to Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy. Tran in particular got it rough, here we go. She even deleted her Instagram account after vehement fans relentlessly accused her of ruining Star Wars. They really didn't, and nothing like that actually happened. After a while, there was only one solution the Fandom Menace believed would work to punish the franchise for failing them: boycott all future Star Wars films. You know, you're kind of making an argument for it with how arrogant you are, Anthony. Because you're so rancid with sleaze and bias, I'm surprised anyone would read any of your articles, because I'm not enjoying myself. And usually people only get jobs in writing articles if people enjoy reading them. Or are at least informative, but you, man, are not. Calls for boycotts in fan circles have become increasingly common in recent years. Earlier this year, a group of alt-right journalists, including Jack Posobiec, promoted an event called the Alita Challenge, where instead of seeing Captain Marvel in its first weekend, audience would see Alita, Battle Angel, which at that point was late in its theatrical run. Alita's box office dropped an expected 55% that week, while Captain Marvel opened to massive numbers. He says this even though most fans have a positive, reaction to Alita Battle Angel, while most people really can't say that Captain Marvel is anything more than the most mediocre film that has ever been made. Not bad, just mediocre, like, I don't know, stale bread. That's what watching Captain Marvel is like eating stale bread. Not bad, but standable. And that's not good for an MCU film. And that was my review of Captain Marvel, basically to those exact words, more or less. Yet Star Wars fans have a history of hyperbolic reactions. Even the announcement of a new Star Wars film triggered fan backlash. With something as huge as Star Wars, anything Disney did with the property would have gotten people angry. George Lucas even claimed he sold Lucasfilm in part due to fatigue from that constant backlash. Why would I make any more when everybody yells at you all the time and says, what a terrible person you are? Going back to that, even though it looks like Disney lied to George Lucas and didn't use any of his scripts, and now we are sat with these horrible Star Wars movies that Disney made. And notice our dear friend Anthony Caramugli didn't mention Bob Iger's autobiography, where he says in as nice a way as possible they basically screwed George Lucas over, and even mentions that he basically nearly gave old George a heart attack when they told him what they were going to do with the Star Wars movies at the first meeting. What gave the Star Wars boycotters a taste of victory was Solo, a Star Wars story's failure at the box office. The film underperformed, becoming the only flop in Star Wars history. Solo director Ron Howard summed up why he felt the film failed. Bad release date, a concept audiences didn't get behind, and aggressive trolling. Yes, it was a concept audiences didn't get behind, and it was a film that didn't need to be made because we didn't need to know Han Solo's origin story. We didn't need to know Solo came from the fact he was signing up to be a soldier or to go on a basically airplane ride because he needed a last name. And that's why Han Solo is called Han Solo, folks. He was signing up to go on something, and he basically needed a last name, so he put Solo down. That is singularly the most stupid thing anyone did to give the origin of anyone's name in anything ever in a movie. Let's get back to this article. This emboldened the boycotters, proving to them that they were not a minority but had actual sway and power. This power apparently either faded or fizzled out by the time the Rise of Skywalker tickets went on sale. So why is that? Why couldn't this aggressive trolling even dent the Rise of Skywalker's pre-sales? Well, Anthony, I'm pretty sure you're going to answer my own question. So why did the Rise of Skywalker's boycott fail? The answer depends on who you ask. If you ask the fandom menace, Disney is buying out tickets to inflate ticket sales, and that's pretty much what I think. Spending money on their own film to trick people into thinking it's a similar theory was spread when the boycott for Captain Marvel failed. There are, however, more likely answers, which can be uncovered by actually looking at the people who wanted to boycott Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. While a lot of people are upset with the direction Disney took Star Wars, very few of them ever intended on boycotting the franchise. The vast majority of the anti-Disney fans just want to watch a film they enjoy. This can be determined by numbers. The average video Jimmy Johns puts out where he criticizes the path Disney has taken with Star Wars averages between a few 100,000 and to a million views. The fandom menace hate videos rarely crack 100,000 and average 50,000. Many don't even crack 10,000. Someone sounds like they're deflecting. He sounds like he's rather worried about how popular these videos actually are. You know, being critical of something actually can give you a lot of views. Probably more than what you're probably saying they actually make. Wisely, Disney has aimed to appeal to the people who are critical of the latest Star Wars films, but are open to things improving. The people who like the new trilogy are going to see each film regardless, but those who are on the fence need to know they should stick around. A recent trailer reaction to the final Rise of Skywalker clip by Jeremy Johns showed him as cautiously optimistic about the upcoming film. Those on this side of the discussion want to like Star Wars, but feel let down by Disney when they see Disney seems to be listening to their feedback. However, they cautiously got on board with the upcoming Episode 9. Using the like to dislike ratio as a metric, this vast majority of people seem to agree with John's. Maybe the last two films didn't entertain them, but this one looks like a step in the right direction. I have my doubts about that, especially as we read the last part of this article, which leaves only the irrational haters who harass creators, spread conspiracy theories, and hate anything Disney does regardless of its quality. The simple truth is that these groups are dwindling in number. I didn't realize I was reading a crack article. Either the anger they felt when The Last Jedi hit theaters has burned out, or they moved on. If trolling led to Solo's numbers slipping, and then the trolls clearly aren't interested in doing it again. Irrational haters who harass creators and spread conspiracy theories, huh? And hate anything Disney does, regardless of its quality. Well, Disney's quality is usually just mediocre at best. They haven't been great in a very long time. And even if the 50,000 views, not unique views, just views led to 50,000 fewer tickets for Disney, that still wouldn't make a dent in the rise of Skywalker's sales. The boycotters were never a real player in this game. Then why are you even acknowledging it? We must be doing something because you and Disney are obviously afraid of us for some odd reason, and I can't imagine why. Maybe because your films aren't all that great? Maybe you're afraid because of the message in the original trilogy, because all of those who tyrannize others will eventually fall. And that includes Disney and their overlording ways. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And could you please share this video, share it on Twitter and share it on Facebook, share it anywhere you think it would do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their YouTube creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could please share this video. Now it's plug-in time. Keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.